Morning, everybody.
Who voted for President Trump? I understand the disappointment tonight. I've lost a couple times myself. But now, let's give each other a chance.
Protesters in Georgia's capital of Atlanta tells Fox News not so fast.
They shouldn't be calling this election. There's dozens of lawsuits all over the United States right now.
I think it's a little premature. It just sounds like there's going to be multiple states with recounts and an awful lot of litigation. So I'm just hopeful that everybody stays calm in the country and waits to see how that transpires.
USA Radio News is not calling the race until all legal challenges have been resolved. Tropical storm Eta moves through Cuba on Sunday. It's expected to head for Florida over the next few days. USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Did Fox News call the race?
Yeah.
They all did, huh?
They called it. Fox News, CNN, AP, a lot of other places. They called it. A lot of the independent contributors aren't.
Well, they gotta go through all the legal processes. It's not a simple deal, I think.
Keep it out on the radio because I still hear these commercials from time to time, and I'm thinking, you people need to listen up. I mean, I'm over 50, and your body starts wearing down. But Balance of Nature has literally changed my life. It really has.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
3 earthquakes Saturday morning shook Alaska's largest city of Anchorage as the epicenter was about 20 miles north of the city. There were no immediate reports of damage. The strongest of 3 at magnitude 5.0 was recorded just before 3:30 a.m. local time. That was followed by a magnitude 3.9 minutes later. The third earthquake was magnitude 4.4. All 3 were located at depths of about 25 miles under the surface. The European Union levies sanctions against the Republic of Belarus president. USA Radio News' Dan Naraki has more.
The European Union has hit Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko with a new round of sanctions for his crackdown on protesters following a disputed election back in August. The sanctions placed on Lukashenko and his son Viktor restricts their travel within the EU and freezes their assets. Protests erupted in August after Lukashenko won a disputed re-election with 80% of the vote. The EU says that election appears to have been rigged. More than 15,000 protesters have been arrested as part of a crackdown that has turned violent. From the USA Radio News Ohio Valley Bureau, I'm Dan Naraki.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Middleboro in Review for November the 8th. 2020. We are into November. This is the second Sunday of November. We're very close to Thanksgiving and then Christmas. We're getting into the holiday season. We got a lot on today's program for you today. We got a lot of interesting topics to talk about. But let's first talk about the weather. Today, right now, currently in Middleboro, 40 degrees in Middleboro, with a high of 74 today. It's going to be another beautiful day this morning to go and to take a walk and just to be outside, really. It's going to be a really beautiful day today. Tomorrow is the pick of the week. 76 degrees and sunny. Very, very beautiful day tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe you can get up to close to 80 in some areas. We'll see. And we've got a little bit of rain in the forecast this week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All chances for rain as well in Middleboro. Taunton, currently 40 degrees and a high of 74. And pretty much the same forecast for the week as well in Taunton. In Driscoll, North Dakota, we have a high of 66 today. It's currently 51 degrees. So very, very much another nice day. Very warm today. But as I see during the week, it's going to start getting cold once again. Getting down to really cold nights in Driscoll, Texas, or Driscoll, North Dakota, I'm sorry. And really warm, really not a lot of warm days left in Driscoll, North Dakota. But today is 66 degrees, which is really nice. In Driscoll, Texas, currently 62 and foggy. 86 for a high. And mid-80s, right around there for the entire week. No rain in the forecast, so beautiful week for Driscoll, Texas. That's the weather. And we're going to say good morning to Dawn. How is Dawn today?
Dawn is doing great. Good this Sunday morning.
That's great to hear, Dawn.
And no frost on the windshield. Talk about the difference between this weekend and last weekend. Oh my God. Remember last Saturday? Everything was socked in. It was so icy. It was, all the locks were frozen. There was black ice everywhere. There was snow. It's a good day to stay home and watch Scooby-Doo.
Quite a difference, because this weekend's been amazing. And tomorrow is going to be the best.
Yeah, no. It's nice weather we're having here. Noticing a lot of people are getting a lot of yard work done. They're taking advantage of this nice weather. Nothing's worse than out in the freezing cold, windy day trying to rake up some leaves. So yesterday was actually perfect for that. So a lot of people doing that. A lot of people working out in the yard with their families and doing their thing and just enjoying the beautiful sunshine because it's December in about 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's coming up. December's coming up, which means Christmas is coming up. So we're closing in on Christmas, closing in on Thanksgiving.
Joey, when we were talking about the Route 44 construction, they were paving and doing some work, and we just figured, it's all done. Well, no, it's not. Coming back late on 44 West, I work in Quincy, so I jump on 44 West from Route 3, and when you cross over 58 in Carver, they're detouring everyone off after 8 o'clock. They were working on the Carmel Street Bridge, the one-lane bridge.
Yeah.
Carmel, I believe. I don't know. I might have looked at it wrong. It's the one-lane bridge, the 44. When 44 goes down to one lane, it's that little bridge. It's been there, I don't know. That's like the original stretch. It was built in 1969 and 1968. So it's the one-lane bridge on each side, and they were doing some work on it. So I had to go around and under it.
Yep.
But Monday and Thursday, I worked late and I got detoured. So I'm not sure if they're doing anything about it. I think they might be done. So
they've also been working on New State Highway as well. The area from, I believe, the Meineke all the way up to the gas station near the RV.
Yeah, it's Carmel Street.
Oh, it is. That's the one you're talking about?
That's the little bridge, yes, on Route 44.
Okay.
It's the one lane bridge. It's one lane each direction. Then it turns into 2 lanes each direction when it gets in the newer edition they put in 2005. But
yeah,
they were working on I'm not sure if they're going to be doing it this week or not.
They did some paving in that area.
Well, the paving, I think they were just working on the bridge itself.
Yeah.
Because when I went under it, I went down the old 44 and then I crossed under it. I went under it to head home, and they were right on the bridge working. But that's a detour. That's a bad detour because something that takes you literally 5 minutes to get from 58 to 105 takes you 15.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how the highways have really improved from just 50 years ago. and how fast we can get around, and we never think about it. We always take it for granted.
Yeah.
But you get off the exit, and then you took a left. Official detour went right, but you take a left, you go past McDonald's, and then you take a right on Plymouth Street. It's the old 44. And that's all windy, turny, all the way up to either 105 or you duck under that little bridge and go out the other side of Plimpton Road, Plimpton Street.
Yeah.
But it took like 15, 18 minutes. Normally take me 7. From that point at Route 58 to home, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like 4 minutes down to the lights, and it's like 2.5, 3 minutes home. It took me an extra 18, 19 minutes to get home. So it's unbelievable how just a small detour can put so much more time onto your commute. So you realize, you don't realize it until it's gone as far as that's concerned, when you have to detour and you're driving all around. But I guess they have to do it. They got to fix the bridges. So I'm not sure if they're going to be working on it this week. Maybe I'll try to look it up. But I got detoured twice last week, Monday and Thursday.
So, Thanksgiving is coming up. Thanksgiving this year is November the 26th. It will be a Thursday, as it always is. Let's rifle off some NFL scores, and then we're going to tell you a little bit about the NFL games that are taking place on Thanksgiving. So, Week 9 has already started. It started off on Thursday with a really good matchup between the Packers and the 49ers. The Packers continued their great season by beating the 49ers. Some other great matches coming up for today. The Giants and Washington in a very, very important matchup in the NFC East. Pretty much every single team is in it in the NFC East except, I think, the Giants are the ones that are kind of down in the standings right now in the NFC East. But that is kind of a wide open NFC East. It's not really a great division this year. It's a lot of losses. There's no team in the NFC East with a winning record. So this is an important matchup. Every single match that happens in the NFC East is very important. The Titans take on the Bears. Two teams who have been struggling lately. So we'll see who rights the ship there. Lions versus Vikings in a very interesting matchup. The Vikings and the Lions are struggling, but the Lions are picking up a couple of wins here and there. So we'll see what happens in that matchup. Ravens take on the Colts. The Colts led by Phillip Rivers, a really great quarterback who's having a bounce-back year for the Colts. The Colts are a playoff team right now, and they're doing really good. Let's see if they can continue that against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The Bills have their most important matchup of their season so far. They face the Seahawks. This is going to be a battle. If Buffalo is able to beat the Seahawks, it will cement their status as the number one team to beat in the NFC East. Not the NFC East, the AFC East. Panthers and Chiefs, and some other great matchups. The Patriots do take on the 0-8 Jets. I hope that's a win today. That's just all I'm going to say there. I hope that's a win. I hope we are not the first team that the Jets beat. I hope that is a win for us today. And finally, actually, that's not today. Actually, that's tomorrow night. So I'm looking at that wrong. That's tomorrow night, actually. Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, the Saints take on the Buccaneers. Probably the most important matchup in the NFC during the year. The Saints and the Buccaneers are doing really good. So, like we said, Thanksgiving is November 26th. Let's really quickly take a look at the matchups that will take place on Thanksgiving. It will be the Texans versus the Lions Washington versus the Cowboys, so another NFC East matchup. And finally, the Ravens versus the Steelers. The undefeated Steelers, I might add. The Steelers have not lost yet. And by the way, the Steelers take on the Cowboys this afternoon. So, some good matchups for Thanksgiving this year. And we'll continue to remind you of those matchups throughout the next 2 or 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is going to be in 18 days. So, we'll keep mentioning that for the next 2 weeks. So, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to talk about the return of the Festival of Lights. They're returning to Middleboro for 2020. They're going to be a little bit different this year. It's going to be a little bit different. The Festival of Lights. We'll tell you about it. We're going to give some updates on South Coast Rail, the construction activity that's going on in South Coast Rail, and we're going to give an update on the Hingham and Hull Ferry as well. So a lot of great topics to talk about today on the show. You can listen to us on TuneIn. Type in WVBF 1530 AM and you will find us. You can listen to us on the radio at 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. You can also listen to us on the Audio Now number, 605-562-7958. On our YouTube channel, Middleboro in Review, all lowercase, you will be able to find us. And on the Facebook page, Middleboro in Review, as well. So, we will be right back here on Middleboro in Review for November 8th, 2020. Alright.
I don't see anything
What?
about that work they had done.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4
The 8th.
Fridays. Call them today. You will not
8th of November.
508-583.
We're 18 days away from Thanksgiving.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association.
Did you hear about? You heard what matches are going to be for football for Thanksgiving? Well, I'll tell you again next week. You missed that.
Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a
You missed
meal,
that.
clothing, shelter,
Alright.
and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states.
I gotta give him a call.
Many members
And see if there's any events coming up. I gotta give him a call.
We sponsor
I'm sure there's events starting up again.
motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro
Maybe we'll call
serves the
him tomorrow.
residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver,
Have
and
his number
Rochester.
still.
Our main source of aid to families in
Where's
these
that book? Give me that book.
communities is the food pantry.
Book?
Open twice weekly on Wednesday
We
and
can talk about it a
Saturday.
little bit, right?
Clients can
Yeah.
visit the pantry once a month and shop for their groceries. The pantry is open to everyone during the pandemic. Anyone affected by the COVID-19 crisis is welcome to register as a client with no income thresholds. To register by phone, just call 508-947-1717 and leave a message by selecting option 1. Your call will be returned by a volunteer who will add you to the list of clients. The homebound or
What?
others who are self-quarantined
Oh, this looks like
will
your
shop
car.
for you, deliver the groceries
Huh?
directly
This
to
looks
your
like your
door.
car.
During the pandemic,
What?
you've taken
No,
all
crash,
necessary
44.
precautions for the safety
No, it was a car
of
crash.
clients and
Look at the
volunteers
Facebook
and
page.
have managed to remain
Uh.
open throughout the crisis.
Okay, I don't know.
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune in to Talkin' Birds, a show about wild birds, birding, and conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews.
I'll give it over to you.
Information about birds and birding. It's Talkin' Birds, Saturday
No, I'll give it over to you. Don't worry.
mornings at 9.
Yeah.
Here on WVBF.
I'll give it over to you as soon as I talk about
99.7 FM.
something.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin.
The Festival of Lights.
Join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WVBF, the Sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music.
Tony with the late Congressman Joe Mosley
country
taken
and
at the
contemporary,
U.S.
and
Capitol
sometimes some live singers
building
in the
radio
studio,
station, huh?
and to make you laugh, some Irish comedy.
Yeah, this time.
And Sundays from noon to 2, right here on WVBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
All right. Welcome back to Middleboro in Review for November 8th, 2020. So before the break, I mentioned that the Festival of Lights is returning here to Middleboro for 2020. So it's going to run for 2 consecutive weekends in December. The 7th annual Middleboro Festival of Lights. So it's going to run from December 12th, which is a Saturday, December 13th, which is a Sunday, Saturday, December 19th, and Sunday, December 20th. The display, there'll be displays. The display will be visible from 4 to 9 p.m. each night. Tickets are $10 per carload at the gate, but you can save $5 by purchasing a ticket online. Tickets are only good for the date they are purchased. So what will happen this year is that no one will be allowed to leave their cars. They'll have to stay in their cars while they look at the lights this year. They will still have all the lights up and also the displays as well for the houses as well. But no one will be allowed to walk around this year. Don, what are your thoughts on the Festival of Lights?
Well, it's good that they're having it, and I'm glad they didn't cancel like everything else gets canceled. So, kudos to whoever's doing it. Who does it again?
The Middleboro Tourism Committee.
Right. We've talked about them before. They're a good group of people, dedicated to the Middleboro. So, yeah, it's they're sitting there in their boardroom thinking, do we have to cancel? And they're like, no, keep them in their cars.
Yeah.
Let them do as many rounds as they want. It'd be different. They can't get out of the cars and mingle, but
yep.
At least they still have it. It isn't canceled. Something people can look forward to. And usually, it's cold anyway. People don't want to get out of their cars when it's cold because, remember, it was cold. I mean, the villages, it's nice when people mingle around. They go out, check out the different tents and the different little villages they make, which is kind of sad they can't do it this year. But It's not canceled though.
Yeah.
So
it's not canceled.
It's not canceled, and then
you can still go to it.
They're moving on.
Yeah.
So that's great. My hats off to the tourist committee for doing that and not canceling, because it seems like that's the easy way to go these days. Oh, let's just cancel it. We can't do it. Cancel. No, it's not cancel. Let's just do it. Let's think outside the box and do it differently.
Yeah.
And that's great. When you told me that yesterday, I was really happy. My heart felt good about that they're still doing that. So that's good. We need to move on. We got to get through this.
So I want to give a shout out to Paul Lazarovich, who is listening on the Facebook.
Hello, Paul.
Good morning, Paul. Paul is listening.
He's great. He has a great show on Saturday.
Yes, great show on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. Every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Cranberry Country Journal. It's a great program.
And he did that show prior to signing back up with BBF last year.
Yes.
Was it like last January, or when did he start up?
I think it was last January, right,
February?
Paul? If you're still watching on the Facebook, let us know if it was last January. I think it was
right before the pandemic started. It might have been in March, I think, because I think it was right before, because I remember having some studio guests in house here, and then when the pandemic hit, that was it for the guests for a while. Well, still is, but that's a great show, and it's a good time slot, 10 o'clock, because that's a great time slot. He is a really nice time slot.
It is.
And he has a lot of people listening, especially on Facebook. He really intermingles his Facebook with his show, and I think people enjoy it. They sit there and have their coffee at Saturday morning and watch Paul and his show. So that's great, and it's great he listens too. That means he's gets up at 7 to listen to you and me.
Yeah, I'm usually there on Saturdays as well. I haven't been the past 2 weeks, but I will be next week.
What's the new show on Mondays?
The new show on Monday is we'll get the schedule for you. We'll tell you exactly what the show is.
Yeah, new program on Monday.
Yeah, there's a new program on Monday.
So it's good
as well. And
yeah,
it started last Monday, and I will make sure before the end of the show mention it.
It's good because it's new and people can it's right off. It's 11 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Who signs off at 10? Bob Newell?
No. Jim Dupont.
Jim Dupont. Okay, yeah. So, that's something definitely noteworthy. But you know what else is noteworthy? Yesterday, the Taunton Elks, Tony Lopes, who, through the general manager here, is still at VBF, does a show on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock? You should know the schedule.
9 to 11 on Tuesdays.
Right, your schedule should be in your head. You're here all the time. I'm here once a week, and I know the schedule
well,
better than you do.
The Monday show's a new show, so I gotta see the name of it.
On Tuesday?
It's 9 to 11 on Tuesday.
9 to 11. It's called Coffee with Tony Lopes.
Coffee with Tony Lopes.
It's a newer show. But he wrote a book, 35 Years of Talk Radio in Taunton, Middleboro. And he had the book signing yesterday, and I picked up 4 copies. And he signed them, actually. Right there. He still calls me Dave. He thinks my name's Dave, but it's gone. But that's all right. He mentions me in the book as Dave, but that's all right. I'm Dave in his eyes. But it's a great pickup. It's on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. It's a great book. It's a nice paperback, beautiful color, like a orange and white lettering. It has the old style microphone with the headphones. It's just such a beautiful book. Got a picture of Tony on the back, in front of the mic. But Tony's been an institution in Taunton and this radio station for a long time. 35 years. And I think everyone knows Tony. And I look up to Tony. I always pick his brain about history. I guess he used to be a history teacher, and he's just a great guy. And this is an awesome, looking through the pictures, and I have started reading. I just got it yesterday. I am going to read it. But it was a great, they had some people over there, and it's great. And he had a lot of people who support him and showed up for the book signing. And that's great that Tony was able to do the book. And I asked his wife Nancy, hey, you know, when do you start working on the books? And he said about March when they got back from Florida, because I think a lot of people had a lot of time with this pandemic. Can't go out and do your normal things. You're not going to, you're not going to the ball game. You're not doing this, especially during March, April, and May. I mean, it was shut down. So he used his time wisely and wrote this beautiful book. Got a lot of older pictures. I'm looking at a picture right here of Tony with Congressman Joe Moakley taking out the U.S. Capitol building radio station. So, I mean, there's a lot of history here. And he really put this town on the map as far as... And I've only known him for since 2016. So, I mean, and it's been a joy for me because he's so full of wealth of knowledge, in my opinion, and he's a great guy. So this book is awesome. It's 35 Years of Talk Radio in Taunton, Middleboro by Tony Lopes. It's on Amazon, and it's a great, nice, perfectly done book. It's pages, 100 pages, 100 or so pages, but it's a nice read.
It's gonna be a good read. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read it.
The pictures, the stories, little everything here, and I hope he had a great day. We got there about 1 o'clock yesterday and stayed for about 20 minutes. So I made some good brownies there. I had a couple brownies and water, but that was just a good day for him yesterday, and it seemed like it was a good, successful day. He seemed happy. And when we left, there were people coming in. So my hat's off to Tony Lopes. Great book, and I hope it's really successful. But I think it's a good read for anybody who's been listening to his show and has been a fan. And I had to talk about it because it's flawed. It's just a beautiful. I saw a picture of it on. Like on the Amazon website or on his Facebook page, but it's a really nice, beautiful, beautiful book. I think Roger had a lot to do with helping him too. Roger, right?
Yes. Yep.
Who? Roger, right?
Roger Haber. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked to him. He had a lot to do with because he wrote. I asked him. I said, "How many books have you written, Roger?" And he said, "Oh, I'm working on my eighth or ninth or something like that." So I think Roger's a good friend. Roger helped him on this book. So. That's awesome. It's just I had to say a shout out to this. And what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just picked up the book yesterday, so I can't wait to read it, and I can't wait to read it. So I'm gonna start reading it today.
He's always been a person you always looked up to, right?
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. 100%.
I mean, I've never done any kind of radio work, and I asked him, hey Tony, is it all right, if I could. Help Joey out a little bit. So he said, absolutely. But I didn't ask him the first day you went on, and I sat there, and you had to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't do it by yourself, but like I said, even Tony would admit that having a co-host helps.
Yeah.
A lot of good shows out there have two people. But there's something to say about somebody who can run it themselves. Like Larry Novak, for instance, doesn't stop talking the whole hour. He always has something to say about his show.
There's great shows.
There's a lot of shows
that have
Paul,
one person.
Deal. Yeah, same Paul. He has a lot of people call in.
Yeah.
And Chris Keach every morning, 2 hours a day. He has a few. I don't think he has many call-ins, does he?
No, he doesn't get any call-ins.
Yeah, that's not a call-in.
No, it's not. He has a lot of great. Things and a lot of great news topics, a lot of great segments as well.
Yeah.
To the morning news.
Right, and he gets everyone out the door as far as the morning news.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people want to listen to more of a local situation than more of a like a bigger station. I find like a smaller radio station more because the personalities better. They're more. I don't know. They're more like you and me as far as living in the community or whatnot, and just everyday people just go to work, turn on the microphones and just tell us how it is and stuff, the news and whatnot. But we could spend a whole hour on just how this station has shaped.
Yeah.
Middleboro Taunton over the years, and it still is. It's still providing a lot of shows, and even going through these difficult times through the pandemic, still broadcasting, and same with you. You starting on that food pantry all on your own. That was your
that was my idea. That was my idea.
And that's awesome that you have a commercial running for the food pantry. You had Ray call you. He was on the show back in July, and he talked pretty much in detail about everything they did, and he got actually a couple of ads. So just the creativity of everybody making a small little radio station work like this is great, because I work here. I don't even work here.
I hope to have
1 hour a week I work here.
I hope to have Ray on again before the end of the year.
Right.
Because I'd like to talk about the
Christmas is
gifts.
Coming.
As well, the gift giving.
Thanksgiving, Christmas. So people, obviously, they're going to have to up their game, because people are going to be looking for their Thanksgiving meal. They're going to be looking for any kind of Christmas situation, because now the holidays are coming up, and the holidays are tough, especially for people who are alone. The holidays are tough. Now you get the pandemic. It's still going on, and now we're facing our first holiday season under these new circumstances with the pandemic. So people need to really reach out more now and be more giving, I think. So all right, I'll get off my soapbox, but I just wanted to talk about Tony's book. The book signing was awesome. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. We showed up, hung out, talked a little bit, and Tony was busy signing books. We talked a little bit, but he signed. I got my 4 copies. He signed my 4 copies. He's like, "Do you want me to sign all 4 copies?" I says, "Yep." So I got them all here. My signed copy of 35 years of Talk Radio with Tony Lopes.
Our friend Scott is joining us on the Facebook Live as well. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Scott. So our new show that WVBS is going to have on Monday mornings at 11 o'clock is called Left of Center with Mara Dolan. So every Monday at 11 to 12, that's going to be a new show that we're going to have here on WVBF.
That's us. Syndicated show, Joey?
It is. It's syndicated.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So you're here.
Well, that's simulcast. Simulcast.
Okay, I'm sorry,
not syndicated. Okay. Simulcast.
I'm glad I can see that. That's why I asked you for tell me these things. I don't know.
Simulcast.
I'm just a co-host, and you shut my mic off at will sometimes. But that's great. That's great. That's tomorrow will be the second show, right?
Yeah, tomorrow will be the second show.
And yours truly, Joey Driscoll, is the board on that.
I will be on the board, yeah.
Right, that's great. So you get to listen in on that great show tomorrow, and there'll be more shows, I think, coming. It's just Marcus really starting to get the field going and starting to fill in the gaps, and things starting to hopefully quiet down with this Corona thing. Things get a little better. I think we'll be filling in you'll be filling in more of the program slots, hopefully, and things are going well, in my opinion, I think.
All right, 7:40 here on Middleboro in Review. We're here at WVBF, 1530 AM, 99.7 FM in Taunton. And when we return, we're going to talk a little bit about South Coast Rail. South Coast Rail, there's some updates. They're doing some work, mostly in Fall River. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're also going to, hopefully we have a little bit of time to do it, we're going to talk about the commuter rail, the MBTA commuter rail ferry, and the commuter rail budget cuts as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to have Today in History and a lot of other interesting things in the last 19, 18 minutes of the show. So, we will be right back here on Middleboro Review for November 8th, 2020. It's cut that down. 243. Bam.
Hi, this is Chris Keach, host of the Morning Wake Up News on WVBF. Beginning at 7 a.m. weekday mornings, I present a fast-paced 2 hours of the latest local headlines, New England sports, and the 3-day weather forecast. I also liven things up with several featured segments, including Little-Known Facts with Chaz Allen, Our Daily Bread, The Legal Report with attorney Amy E. Feldman, a checkup on health, and a report on your pet's health as well. Jet Williams will bring you the stories behind the scoreboard with Jetstream Sports, and the USA Radio Network has the latest world and national news. So please join me Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Morning Wake Up News. It's all here at AM 1530, WBBF, and 99.7 FM. We are your hometown radio station.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization,
I think I'm gonna
donate to
move the talk about the ferry to next week,
to learn more about the Combat Veteran
because
Motorcycle Association.
I want to make sure I have
You can join
some more time to talk about that, not 7 or 8 minutes. That needs a little bit more than 7 or 8 minutes. That particular topic. So I think I'm just gonna move that to next week.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
Red mic. Back up. And welcome back to Middleboro in Review. Today is November the 8th. We're going to talk about the commuter rail and the ferry next week. We're going to talk about South Coast Rail coming up next, but I'm going to move the MBTA, the commuter rail, plus the ferry, the Hingham and Hull ferry conversation to next week. I want to have a little bit more time to talk about it, so we're going to move it to a segment on next week's program. Before we talk about South Coast Rail, I want to say a little bit about our programs coming up. For today, we have, after us, we have Bread of Life coming up at 8:05 after the news. That will be coming up. And today's program is called Wake Up. That will be today's program, November 8th, Wake Up. That will be for the Bread of Life program at 8 o'clock. At 8:30, we have the Rosary. At 9 o'clock, we have Talking Birds, a great program about birds, information about birds, and a lot of great information as well. A lot of great topics, a lot of great guests that are on that show as well. 9:30, Keys of the Kingdom. At 10 o'clock, the First Baptist Church of Randolph with Roger Haber. That runs from 10 to 11. 11 o'clock will be Musical Odyssey, and today's program is called The Woodwinds Have Their Say. So that is today's program. And at noontime, Sounds of the Emerald Isle with Jim Larkin. He'll play 2 hours of Irish music and comedy. And at 2 o'clock, to finish off the Sunday, is Stand Up Strong with Ed Miller and Tony Branch. So a lot of great programs coming up on a Sunday here on WVBF. So, South Coast Rail. We have a couple of updates on construction activity for South Coast Rail. There is some Phase 1 early action construction. Some of that includes culvert replacements and related track work, which is mostly complete, according to mass.gov. The wetland construction part of it as well is mostly complete. Tarkland Hill Road grade crossing improvements, which is mostly complete. And there are also going to be 4 bridge replacements that are mostly complete as well. The culvert replacement updates. The culvert work is complete until spring of next year. There's going to be future wetland mitigation maintenance through June of next year. 4 bridge replacement update. Minor work efforts to address final items continue to be performed for the bridge replacements and related track work at the North and South Cotley Railroad bridges in Berkeley, the Cedar Swamp Railroad Bridge in Lakeville, and the Fall Brook Railroad Bridge in Freetown between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. on weekdays. This work is not expected to be disruptive to local residents or to impact local businesses or properties. There's also early action building demolition as well. The MBTA contractor has completed the following early action building demolition to prepare for Phase 1 station of Mainline construction. The former structures at 1141 County Street, Taunton, 15 Richmond Road, Freetown, 2804 North Main Street, 825 Duval Street, and 61 Pierce Street, Fall River, 3 Adams Lane, Berkeley, 161 South Main Street and 52 West Grove Street, Middleboro, 91 Old Colony Avenue, Taunton, 2 and 6th Way Street in Berkeley, and 387 Church Street in New Bedford have been demolished. Mainline construction update. The MBTA Fiscal and Management Control Board approved the first major construction update to build the Fall River Secondary on May 11th, 2020. The second package, which includes the New Bedford Main Line, the Middleboro Secondary, and the signal system for the entire Phase 1 corridor, was approved back in August 24th. Both elements of Phase 1 will be underway by the end of the year. Fall River Secondary Mainline update. And this is Fall River Secondary Mainline. Location of work. The MBTA contractor was issued notice to proceed in June of 2020. Weaver's Cove layover. Facility location in Fall River. Freetown Station site at 161 South Main Street, Freetown. Fall River Secondary Line Railroad right-of-way between Adams Lane in Berkeley to Fall River Depot. Fall River Depot site, 825 Duval Street in Fall River. Dates and hours of work, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Current week, which was last week, Monday, November 2nd through Friday, November 6th. That's what the current work is doing. Next week will be November 9th through Friday, November 13th. No work on November 11th due to holiday. This week and next, the contractor will continue with tree clearing, delivery, and moving of materials, equipment, mobilization, and survey work occurring along the Fall River secondary line right-of-way to ensure safe and unobstructed service. The MBTA needs a cleared right-of-way because the Phase 1 tracks have seen very limited use. Overgrowth has occurred. Tree cutting along the railroad corridor will be necessary for construction to maintain the safety and efficiency of the railway. Trees and heavy brush obstructing the right-of-way will not be replaced. Ongoing MBTA work may be disruptive to local residents, but no significant impacts to local traffic. Businesses or properties are anticipated. Crews will be using various pieces of heavy equipment along the railroad right-of-way, while the project will seek to minimize construction-related impacts to communities. Low to moderate noise levels and vibrations will be generated. All right, so that's the update. Oh, and one more thing. If you would like to report a construction-related issue on the South Coast Rail Project, please call the hotline 774-762-7000. And the hotline will be answered Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., except on holidays. So there's the update for South Coast Rail. That is
quite an update.
Quite an update for that. That is from mass.gov. You can search up South Coast Rail, mass.gov, and you will find all that information.
That's the most you've spoken about that.
That's all the updates. That's everything.
Time.
That's everything.
Wow.
That's all the updates. I wanted to give an update on it. We haven't talked about South Coast Rail in a couple of weeks, so I wanted to give a detailed update on it this week. If I hear anything else, like I said at the beginning of by the end of this year, there'll be Phase 1 main construction happening and stuff like that. So
I guess it's not a total waste of time. It's kind of like, because from this point here, from Taunton on, that's all this going to be complete. So if they decide they want to build that line from Stoughton, from Canton Junction up along 138 up through Hockomock Swamp and up that way and up almost behind us here, well, behind the studio, crossing 44, that'd be the main line. Another line coming in, yeah, it's gonna work. But it's too bad they just didn't electrify it. I remember Mark Chico talking about that a couple of years ago, and it's crazy that they didn't electrify it. Why wouldn't they that's the future of rail, not these clunky old diesels running around. It would put Taunton, New Bedford, Fall River as on. I mean, not saying that on the map now, but they'd really be on the map. You can get there. You can get from Boston to Taunton probably in 30 minutes with these trains.
Yeah.
It'd be wide open. It'd be for people who don't want to drive or can't. This coronavirus is going to be around forever. People are going to be back on trains and things are going to be moving, and hustling. So it's only a matter of time. So, like I said, it's just not sure if they're going to put the election line in. But now, maybe they could set it up for that. Maybe they're setting that up. Maybe they're making room for it. They talked about clearing. Now, if they go with, what was that, Phase 3 or something, or Phase 2?
Yeah, Phase 2.
We're supposed to run up along 138. It's supposed to run up through Stone Easton, Raynham, up through Taunton, pretty much behind us, and right up through Taunton. And instead of going that other way, because they're just really just taking a shortcut. The only thing I'm not sure exactly where that Taunton station's going to be. They say it's right. Where's the Taunton station supposed to be? Where the old purple dinosaur is?
Yeah, right around that area, I believe.
I'm not seeing anything being built there.
I'm not sure where it would be.
We need to find exactly. Was there an address for that?
I don't think it mentioned anything on that. I'm not sure. It mentioned Fall River, the depot in Fall River.
Yeah, but that's on the secondary line. That's fine. If they decide they want to do something up to the main line from Stoughton.
I don't know if it mentioned.
Well, it's quicker. It's just right up it's right up through Dedham. Westward and High Park, and then at Canton Junction. The train goes as far as Stoughton anyway. It goes Canton, Stoughton, and terminates there.
Yeah.
But that's be a quicker way. You're not going to be going all the way up through, through Brockton and Bridgewater, and then coming up through, and then through Lakeville, and up around East Taunton, and it takes forever. It's not a direct route.
Yeah.
So it's not feasible for people to take it.
So,
but if they had if they had a direct route from Boston straight to Taunton, via the way they're supposed to go, right off of the Hockomock Swamp around 138, that line there.
Yeah.
So be back to 1918 standards again.
Yeah. So if we have an update in the next couple of weeks, we will give it to you here on WBBF Middleboro in Review. All right, today in history for November 8th, 2020. Happy birthday to the state of Montana. November 8th, 1889. Montana is admitted as the 41st U.S. state. 1933, during the Great Depression and the New Deal, the U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt unveils the Civil Works Administration, an organization designed to create jobs for more than 4 million unemployed. 1966. Former Massachusetts Attorney General Edward Brooke becomes the first African American elected to the United States Senate since Reconstruction. 1968, the Vienna Convention on Road Traffic is signed to facilitate international road traffic to increase road safety by standardizing the uniform traffic rules among signatories. The United States was not one of those signatories. Birthdays. Happy birthday to Bram Stoker. He was an Irish novelist, critic. He also created Count Dracula, born on this day in 1847. Happy birthday to Statch Sanders, American basketball player, former Celtic, played for the Celtics. 1966, the famous British chef, Gordon Ramsay. He is a British chef, and a television host and personality. He has a couple of different shows, actually. I think it was 2 or 3 of them that he has. Deaths on this day. In 1674, John Milton, famous English poet and philosopher, one of the most important poets in British history. 1978, Norman Rockwell, American painter and illustrator. And 9 years ago today, we lost Bill Keane. 9 years ago today, and Bill Keane, let me get his name up and I'll tell you exactly what he did as a cartoonist, American cartoonist. He is most known for his comic in the newspapers. You may see it every week if it's still in the newspapers. I'm not 100% sure if it is, but Family Circus that was always in the newspapers in the comics. Bill Keane, the creator of Family Circus, passed away 9 years ago today. So that'll do it for today's program. I hope everyone enjoyed today's program. Next week, November the 15th, we're going to have a lot of great topics. We'll talk about the MBTA ferry, the Hangman Hall ferry, that I wasn't able to get to today. We're going to talk a lot about that too. We're going to talk extensively about that. And there'll be some other great topics as well. So, that'll do it for today's program. And we will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Good. I'm going to play the news. Bye-bye, everybody.